Oh boy, well hello there everyone, Playthrough-Livestream. As you can see, I'm back at it once more with the Sonic franchise. Today, as I previously mentioned, we are going to be taking on Sonic Mania, and boy oh boy, have I been waiting to play this game for quite a while now. It is indeed a masterpiece if I do say so myself. Without further ado, I'm gonna skip the opening cutscene for the better. I don't want this video to be 20 hours long now, do I? Anyhow, let's get right into it. Sonic Mania Plus. I even bought the DLC. Fantastic. With that convenience out of the way, here we go. Wanted to play this game again, and as I previously mentioned, here I am once more. It's really that time of the day again. Previously, as most of you know, we beat Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, or the Knuckles campaign in Sonic and Knuckles, as our boy Knuckles himself, and today we're going to be following along or staying true to the timeline, and we're going to be taking on Sonic Mania as Sonic and Tails, a classic duo if I do say so myself, and unforgettable one too. Anyways, right here we have a pretty unique collection of save files. 3 in a row, 100%. Not too bad if I do say so myself, just like last time. But anyways, without further ado, oh boy, let's get right into it. I hope you guys are ready, but without any further delay, here we go again. We're starting a new save file. We're obviously going as Sonic and Tails for obvious reasons. We're staying through the timeline. Anyways, here we go. There's a tornado and our boy Tails and Sonic and Tails. Gotta love the additional details. I always love that. I always love the goggles they put on Tails. Anyways, oh boy. It's the egg robos again. They've been innocent. Oh no. I'm about to explain this all in a sec. I'm just giving you guys just a good minute or two just to admire the cutscenes. There they are. The hard-boiled heavies, and they're off. Beautiful. Anyway, Green Hill Zone. As always, we're starting off in Green Hill, saying, what would a Sonic game be without Green Hill Zone? Beautiful. And that already off the bat, as you can see, this game is technically a 32-bit game, to put it that way, and boy, does it look beautiful. Anyways, without it out of the way, to answer your questions on the lore about this game, basically, I would hope you're ready, please don't die on me. 3, 2, 1, go. So basically, this game takes place after the event of Sonic 3 Knuckles, at least after the Knuckles campaign, of course, where basically Sonic and Tails detect an energy coming from none other than Angel Island Zone itself, oh boy, and basically they rush one towards the tornado, and once they arrive, they find Robotnik already completely excavating the area, or at least the Egg Robos, and an elite team of Egg Robos excavating the area, where then they uncover a gem known as the Phantom Ruby, which basically has the ability to teleport and a power that could also rival that of the Chaos Emeralds, to put it that way. So basically, after that, the Egg Robos beat Sonic the job and basically kept their first, since I'm pretty sure that during this time, the other reason as to why Sonic went back to Angel Island was to probably save Knuckles after the event of Sky's entry zone, but that's just a theory, so basically, the Egg Robos beat Sonic the job, and then they get their hands on the Phantom Ruby first, and basically, immediately after that, after having close contact with the Ruby, the Ruby grants the Egg Robos new powers, turning into the hard-boiled heavies. Beautiful. And there are 5 of them, by the way, and they even have their own leader, which is pretty cute. Anyways, as you can see right off the bat, we are already accessing the spell stage, which is Cat's the UFO. Welcome to Sonic R. I hope you like that game, because it's pretty forgotten nowadays. But just like that, this early on, we have gotten ourselves a Chaos Emerald, a neat collection of 7, if I do say so myself. Anyways, with 1 emerald out of the question and 6 more remaining, back to Green Hills only go. Oh goody. What abomination waits ahead. And as most of you already noticed, this game consists of a decent number of reused assets. For a fun fact, this game was actually made by none other than the fans. For basically, this game actually has a pretty wild history, since this, for one, was actually a game that was made by Sega, the fans of the Sonic series, as previously mentioned. And boy, was that one of Sega's best decisions ever made. So who knows what the Sonic series would have been by now without this game. I guess you could say this game was almost a revival, or even Sega's love letter to fans. And hello to you too, Kate. Nice seeing you here. Anyways, with that explanation out of the way, I should probably explain how the spell stages even work in this game. So basically, the way you get the Chaos Emeralds is pretty similar to that of Sonic and Knuckles, or Sonic 3, where basically you have to find Giant Rings again, and once you do get them, you have to play a good old game of Sonic R. No, not really, just kidding. where basically you have to play catch the UFO, where you guessed it, you have to rate the UFO, and you have to catch it before time expires. You definitely want to be grabbing the blue spear, since, again, they are reused asset from none other than blue spears, the blue spear minigame. And then you want to outrun the UFO itself and catch it while collecting rings, since rings has a timer in this game, and you definitely don't want to be hit. Because if you get hit, you guessed it, you lose rings. Boy, is that convenient. It all ties together if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, with that out of the way, that's 2 out of the 7 emeralds we need. And hello to you too, Godnix. Thanks for joining. We're getting everyone here already. Thank you, thank you. Another difference I might as well even point out is that how Sonic can even jump higher. Something I definitely noticed too. Pretty cool if I do say so myself. Again, makes platforming a little easier. This is a platform after all, so there you have it. But I will say, speaking of that, going back to the spell stages, they are pretty sweet. In my opinion, my favorite spell stages there ever were for Sonic. Unforgettable ones if I truly say so myself. They're a decent combination of the spell stages from Sonic CD and, as previously mentioned, Sonic R. Pretty cool. And for one, the spell stages in this game are also 3D, as most of you noticed. Since again, if this game was supposedly released on a console back in the day, it would technically be considered a 32-bit. Pretty obvious, since again, just look at the beauty of this game, and boy, are the animations smoother than ever before. They really buffed up to 60 FPS right there. Gotta save the frames, if you know what I mean. And boy, they really went out of their way again. A good idea to have fans make a game for Sega. And boy, one of the best decisions they made, is considering the fact that this game was released in the modern era of Sonic. Anyways, back to emerald hunting, or back to the age of exploration, how I like to call it. But anyways, here we go. Glad we have to collect rings, and just like that, hey, would you look at that? How convenient. An emerald has already appeared. Beautiful, and I missed it. Good thing we have tails for this, wherever the heck he went. Oh, there he is, so convenient. And as most of you already guessed, you can even control Tails' flying ability in this game, and boy, is that more than appreciated. Again, makes emerald hunting all the easier, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. But just like that, let's grab ourselves another emerald, shall we? Back to playing the good old game of Catch the UFO. Welcome back to Sonic the Hedgehog R. Oh gosh, what have I done? But I will say, for a spell stage, they definitely did this right again. In my opinion, my favorite spell stages there ever were for Sonic. Pretty sweet if I do say so myself. Personally, the strategy for a lot of these stages is to always just cut the road. I honestly recommend, when it comes to the early game, just getting as many rings as possible. That way you don't have to worry about the timer as much as you normally would have to otherwise. At least getting it up to 60 would give you a good lead or so. Or a number higher than 60. You definitely want to save as much time as possible, and since you won't want to go out of your way to collect rings later, especially when you build Super Sonic Speed, how I like to call it. Well, basically, if you build three matches of blue spears, your speed increases. So you definitely want to keep that in mind when it comes to these spell stages, since again, this is a race after all, so speed is essential. Besides, what would a race be without speed? Anyways, there it is. You've officially achieved Super Sonic Speed. This is the maximum speed you can get, by the way, in these spell stages, so I don't recommend grabbing any more blue spears after this. I'm just focusing on the UFO, since at this point all the blue spears really do is just give you a bonus. Sure, you could grab them if you want the extra life, but again, it's not worth the time. And since I don't want to make this video 20 years long, we're not going to be focusing on that, I'm sorry. Well, these are also pretty dang easy to grind, especially if you're really familiar with the giant ring locations too. And speaking of the giant rings, they actually use 3D models too, again. Really using graphics to their own benefit. To be fair, as I mentioned before, this technically would be a 32-bit. A true 32-bit Sonic game, for that matter. If we're not counting Knuckles Chaotix, and to be fair, that game was supposed to be Sonic Crackers at one point, also known as the unreleased Sonic, quote-unquote, Sonic game for the 32X. So yeah, there you have it. Pretty neat if I do say so myself. But anyways, for the next giant ring, you want to go this way. Spin Dash. Could even say Mania even is a game that consists of a lot of recycled ideas too. Oh yeah, and I actually even used to peel out. Whoops. Anyways, Tails is based on this live over there, but anyways, I really have to stop using the P-Lab right about now. Any minute now, Tails. I really want to use... I would love to get a boost right about now, but it doesn't look like you want to, so I'm gonna go ahead. For the sake of, yet again, you guessed it, not making this video more than 20 years on, and I think you've already reached the boss. You gotta go back. Tails, please do me a favor, thank you. About time, too. 20 years later. Alright, here we go. Please be enough fight, thank you. Right in, just in the nick of time, oh goody. Anyways. If you're curious on if you're wondering how you can manipulate Tails' movement or control his side, it's simple. All you gotta do is press the jump button and hold up. That's all you do. It's that easy. Just be careful not to go on solid ground, or that will cancel Tails' flying ability. And if you really want to navigate your way around specific platforms, you definitely don't want that to happen. Anyways, I'm gonna try my best to grab this boost. Tails, please do me a favor here. Thank you. Again, just abusing Tails endlessly, since again, he's also known as the most broken character in the history of Sonic Hedgehog, so why not? Why not? Here we go. I'll definitely grab myself another Emerald. Why, thank you very much. Besides, we might as well launch Super Sonic this early on. I mean, why not break the game, shall we? When Super Sonic is just as broken as he was before. Unsurprisingly, but that is for the better, ladies and gentlemen, if I do say so myself. Anyways, here we go. I'm saying that the ring's down there for a reason, okay? Anyways, you can even jump in these fall stages too, as obviously seen. And again, what would a platform be without jumping? Not a true one. Not a true one indeed. You can even bounce off the monitors to put it that way, and boy, is that more than ever before satisfying. Satisfying more than ever before, I should say. My apologies. You can even cut corners in these updates too. You don't have to always go in a straight line, which again makes driving the UFOs or catching the UFOs a lot easier. Just be careful not to hit them up or start to go off road, since if you go off road, then you lose, or if you run out of time, and you definitely don't want that to happen. So do beware. I only recommend cutting whenever there's a lot more road ahead of you, or when there aren't any bumpers, since if you do start a very inconvenient spot, then you might fall off. You might risk falling off, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Don't ask how I know. Anyways, just like that, I'll gladly take my next Emerald. Why, thank you very much. I believe only 3 more remain, and boy was I right, thank you. There's one more giant ring in Green Hill Zone, and you know what that means, another Emerald within our hands, thank you. Another Emerald in hand, I should say, my dearest apologies. But anyway, I guess the game wasn't about to let it happen, we already have the fiber ball on it, fantastic. Anyways, remember the Death Egg robot? Yeah, he's back now. An upgraded version of him, if I do say so myself, but he's way easier, so don't worry. You can pretty much just camp on the back and then let Tails deal with the rest of the work for you from there. And he's basically done for it. He puts up a better fight in Sonic 2. Anyways, and as most of you also noticed, I've been accidentally using the peel-out ability since I forgot to disable moves. Since originally, if you play the vanilla game without anything to unlock or start from square one or scratch in other words, you have to unlock these abilities. How you unlock those abilities, you ask? Well, it's simple. All you gotta do is play a good old game of Blue Spheres, which I'll explain how to access later. But anyway, just like that, one more encounter with the hard-boiled heavies later, and just like that, Robotnik teleports everyone into Chemical Plant Zone. Since that's what the Phantom Roo is apparently capable of doing. So, here we go again. Oh goody. Classy. Anyway, gotta love that soundtrack. Here we go. Anyway, back to Chemical Plant. Another reference from Sonic 2. Again, remember when I said how Sonic Mania was pretty much just a game compiled of a lot of recycled ideas and reused assets from other Sonic games? Well, yeah, here you have it. Not too far from the next fan ring. Just for the most part, follow the path I take, and you should be fine. Just like that, even gotta love the Sonic CD references. This game, again, is pretty much just a compilation of just about everything everything from the classic Sonic area, how I like to call that, compiled into one game, and boy, do I love it. It's just beautiful, and I'm glad they made that decision. Just classic Sonic at its finest here, truly a love letter from Sega to all its fans. And now that I think about it, I'm making this look like a review more than anything else, or a documentary, for that matter. But oh well, I might as well make the most of this live stream, since I am treating a lot of these like a normal playthrough, so we might as well. Gotta love the music too, top notch. Anyways, I accidentally went the wrong way, as always, so here we go, I'm building another match. Oh, I meant to go the other way. I hope I didn't just mess up the spell stage right now, which I probably did, but anyways, it's fine. The spell stages aren't that difficult, they're pretty easy. Assuming you know where to go. Hopefully, at least. Just gonna try my best to grab some more rings, since I definitely don't want to run out of time. Now, do I? Here we go. I'm avoiding the blue spears for a reason, trust me. What did I tell you? All part of my master plan. Nothing to worry about, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to worry about indeed. Anyway, good thing there are bumpers here. And why, yes, I do hear you. I could technically pull a speedrun strategy and just bounce off walls, but that wouldn't be all that fun now, would it? Besides, I'm not that experienced with the trick either way, so I'm not risking it. Oh, beautiful. For a sec, I thought I was gonna fall off the level there. Glad I didn't, though. Oh goody. Just got a bonus, and I hope I have a good chance to catch the ball. Oh goody, I'm going the wrong way. Beautiful, as always. Fantastic. Anyways, gonna do myself a good old favor and grab myself some more rings, since I definitely want to keep those in my inventory for later. Don't ask why. Anyways, any day now, please. That nearly just solved like I think I nearly just make the stage impossible by now. Anyways, any day now. Please do me a favor here. Nice. Again, just playing a good old game of Sonic R, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. The most infamous game released back in the day. Again, just be aware not to hit any obstacles. You definitely don't want that to happen, since, again, they make you lose rings, and, again, they're essential. This one might as well just fall the UFO. Will I make it? Will I make it? Oh, goody. See, what did I tell you? Nothing to worry about. With 4 seconds left to spare, the Control Emerald has been acquired, or in other words, the White Emerald, which, yet again, as I previously mentioned constantly throughout my mini live streams, supposedly controls all the emeralds, and just like that, I even got a special live out of that. Beautiful. Really a fine special stage, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Hardly mess it up, anyways. You know what time of the day it is now, do you? It's time to reset the level, since grabbing the other giant rings from here is a pain, so we're starting from square one. Chemical Plant Act 1, here we go. Might as well even showcase the skill that I've been accidentally using throughout the game. Here it is, in all its glory. Again, if you're wondering how to unlock this ability, you have to play a good old game of Blue Spears. How do you play Blue Spears, you ask? Well, it's simple. All you gotta do is, yet again, make sure you have at least 30 rings or more, at least from what I've noticed, and then take a start post for a checkpoint. Once you touch the checkpoint, of course, that same portal that used to appear in Sonic 2 should appear, and if you jump in that portal, it'll take you to Blue Spear. And from there, I recommend getting the perfect bonus, since if you get all the rings and if you get all the Blue Spears, you do get a token. Sure, I hear you. Either way, you get a token. You get a token otherwise, even if you don't get the spell bonus. But if you get the bonus, or if you get a perfect, in other words, by grabbing all the rings, you get a golden token instead of a silver one. So you definitely want to grab all those. For those of you who are that desperate to 100% every Sonic game in existence, might even make a video about that in the future. Do stay tuned. Anyways, back to playing a good old game of Sonic R. Oh gosh, please don't kill me. Yet again, grabbing the monitors and bouncing off, tumbling off things is more than ever before satisfying. Even love the backgrounds too. They reference a lot of the spell stages throughout the Sonic franchise. Pretty neat if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, will do. Definitely want to grab all those rings for obvious reasons, don't ask why. And I'm gonna avoid the ramp, and I'm gonna intensely avoid most of the ramps for obvious reasons, since for the most part they slow you down, so you definitely don't want to know how that feels like. Since this is a race after all, so you want to be going as fast as possible and doing everything in your will or power to get that UFO, or to get the emerald from the UFO. Which I suppose is pretty much over by now. Rest in peace, you will not be missed. And just like that, that is another emerald in hand with only one more out of the question, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Or with one more left, that makes 6 out of the question, I should say. Anyways, back to our good old friend, Chemical Plant Zone. Boy, you gotta love this stage. Truly a classic one in the Sonic franchise, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, jumping here. I don't recommend hitting that spring, since there's conveniently, another giant ring over here. Just like that, what did I tell you? Anyways, final spell stage, let's get this over with. In my opinion, the easiest one, too. Only the red emerald remains, the most infamous one, too. Apparently. Anyways, here we go. Simple enough. For the most part, the background, the spell stage just resembles just a recolored version of the first one, so... To be fair, it is longer, too, but... You hardly get a good chance to see what the spell stage even looks like, since you're bound to catch the UFO in less than 5 minutes, so... There you have it. Yet again, as always, I recommend cutting corners whenever possible. You won't regret it, trust me. Don't ask why I know. Anyway, just make sure you don't jump off that ramp. Don't jump before that ramp, and you should be fine. And with that, the emerald's basically ours right now. Any day now. What did I tell you? Didn't you need to make another match? Or build up another match? And just like that, this early on, ladies and gentlemen, and first try too, for that matter, we have acquired every Chaos Emerald in the game. Beautiful, all 7 of them, and you know what that means? Why, yes indeed. Now Sonic can be Super Sonic indeed. Let's break the game, shall we? I mean, it's already this early on. This is only the 2nd level, so there he is. Hope you're ready. In all his glory. Here you go. Well, you gotta love the sprites. He looks beautiful in this game. Anyway, from the looks of things, it looks like we're going down. Beautiful. You might as well showcase him. I mean, you already are going to abuse him by now. Anyways. Back to the long climb, I like to call it. And I recommend you go down, since there's a spell stage over here, if I recall. Somewhere. And I think I just killed myself. Oh, never mind. See what I tell you. Part of my master plan. Everything's going accordingly, and I hope I didn't just soft-lock myself. Which I probably did. Beautiful. Rest in peace, Sonic. Though I will admit, it was worth it. I needed to show the giant rings, okay? Just for those of you who accidentally messed up a spell stage or two, so there you have it. Or there you go, I meant to say. Anyway, the increased jump height definitely makes a lot of these platforms a lot easier to navigate your way across. Even as Snuggles too, since again, just every character got a buff with their jumping head, so even if Knuckles can't jump as high as Sonic, he can definitely jump higher than before. A little. But anyways, back to Navigation City we go. Oh goody. Any day now, no thank you. Rest in peace. Well, wouldn't be a PG if I system without that, without a loss of life, so here we go. Here we are. You gotta stand up, you know, and you might as well implement every aspect of the stream while we're at it, so here we go. Lovely. And just like that, we made it to the boss. You were only inches away from before, and yet again, convenience strikes back, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of before, you're only about 23 rings away from going super, so there you have it. There's a lot more inconvenience for you. Just like that. How remarkable if I truly say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we'll say that mini-bosses are definitely a lot more creative than before, but unfortunately they're still as easy as ever. The zone boss puts more of a fight. And just like last time, every zone just works the exact same way it did in Sonic 3. Basically, there are 2 acts. In Act 1, there's a mini-boss. In Act 2, there's the zone boss, which is usually robotic, or in this game, one of the hard-boiled heavies, so there you go. That's the pattern. Anyways, back to platforming go. Oh goody. Cells definitely located time in his life over there. Good for him, I guess. Anyways, rest in peace. And up we go. Oh goody. Back to blasting through stages with using supersonic speed. Nice. Anyways, up we go. You missed the giant ring, but it's fine. Looking for we have supersonic right now, so it's fine. Anyways, yet again, a map or platform will be there in no time. Speaking of the zones, again, as most of you also noticed, in the first act, the signs also make a comeback here, and just like last time, you can even bounce them around, which, as previously mentioned, if you get them to land in a specific spot, you can even get a bonus for a monitor to spawn, whether it be an extra life, or even a shield, or more rings. I was about to say coins, and I'm glad I didn't. Please forgive me. Anyways, heal out, and here we go. Nice. We're going this way, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, goody. Nice. Going up. Thank you. So satisfying to even use the pillow, too. Gotta love the animations. And just like that, convenience strikes back, and we have yet again acquired another giant ring. Which, for those of you who don't know, if you bypass once you have all the emeralds, it basically just gives you 50 rings, since a giant ring is equivalent to 50 rings, so there you have it. It's now, and I should probably even showcase the blue spirit stages in this game too. Again, make sure you have 30 rings or more, and then, congratulations, you have access to spell stage. They work exactly the same way as they did before. So this time, I do recommend you get all the rings for once. It's rare you see me do this, but I actually recommend it. It's for the tokens. You won't regret it, trust me. Don't ask how I know. For the most part, you'll be playing through original spell state. Oh, beautiful, and I just messed it up. Fantastic. As I was saying, for the most part, you'll be playing through the original style stage from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but they even added some from Sonic Mania too. This game has original spell stages as well. It's pretty cool. You gotta love the additional details. Anyways, at this point, I'm not gonna bother getting most of the rings since we pretty much messed up right now. So let's just complete this one stage normally, shall we? And just like that, as I would mention if this was a Sonic 3 live stream, another emerald in hand. Not really, since we already got them all, and you don't have to play Blue Spears. It's completely optional. However, I do recommend you do this. That way, you can unlock more miscellaneous features within the game itself, and which you definitely won't regret taking a peek into. They're also pretty cool. Yeah, they have a lot of ranking features, which include the return of Mean Bean, in other words, Puyo, but with Robotnik. Then there's even the abilities including the peel out from Sonic CD and the Insta Shield from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and some other stuff too. With G-Man, one of my favorites, and even the community's favorite, the addition to have a Knuckles follow you, which is pretty sweet if I do say so myself. And just like that, I accidentally accessed another Blue Spear stage. What would you look at that? Convenience strikes back once more, as knockback is apparently a thing once more. Anyways, I definitely don't want to spend too much time on these, so I'm just gonna make this as much of a breeze as I possibly can. I'm just gonna get all the rings, of course. Should also probably mention that every time you hit a bumper, you'll always be sent backwards. The only way to recover your momentum is to always just hold the joystick forward. Though keep in mind, you do have to be on solid ground. If you're mid-air, then you can't do this. Just keep that in mind. Since we're getting perfect, and if you're going for perfect, I recommend leaving most Blue Spears behind until the very end. You definitely won't regret it, since you don't accidentally want to get the perimeter around the group of Blue Spears, and then as soon as the minute they turn to rings, you realize that you already grabbed all the Blue Spears, and then the spell stage is going to end. So you definitely don't want that to happen. Don't ask how I know. And as always, go for the perimeter and you should be fine. Assuming the Blue Spears have an area greater than 4. The group of Z Blue Spears, at least. Anyways, we're almost done. And just like that, I even messed up. Beautiful. A failed input, and just like that, we've lost a decent amount of time for nothing. Fantastic. And there goes all ranks too, for that matter. Beautiful. Convenience strikes back, but it was worth the explanation. It all happens for a reason. And just like that, speaking of robotic and Puyo Puyo, there we are. This time you have to challenge him at his own game. A very intense and fine game indeed of Puyo Puyo, or Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. And this is the reference, so there you have it. Goes down relatively quick, relatively easy though. Doesn't put much of a fight, so this should be pretty so it shouldn't be much of a challenge. Anyways. Almost done. Any day now. Nice. And I'm just gonna lower my commentary a little bit for the sake of concentration, since I definitely don't want to mess up. Obviously, that would be embarrassing. Anyways. Any day now. Nice. Ooh, double nice. Got a combo. Will do. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. I even messed it up. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. But it's fine. What did I tell you? All part of my master plan. I always recommend you guys, you get the combos whenever possible. Since, for those of you who aren't familiar with the rules of Blue Spirit, it works a bit, not 100%, but a bit like Tetris in a way. Where you pretty much want to slug a number of blocks together, and then you want them to fade away. Which only happens if you stack more than 4 at least, and just like that, beautiful. I made a mistake there, but no one saw that, obviously, and with robotic out of the way, just like that, more flickies have been freed. We could have skipped this, but it's fine. There's even a way you can actually glitch through this, since again, most of the capsules in Sonic Mania are just out in the open, so if you know the right glitch, if you know how to pull off the right maneuver to pull off this said glitch, you can pretty much just skip the boss meat completely. Anyways, welcome to an original zone, City Office, and you need to look at that. You even have those UFOs from the unused version from the beta version of Marble Zone. Gotta love that again. This game is pretty much just a compilation of recycled ideas and reused assets that the public almost never saw. Anyways, with that curious cat out of the way, another diamond ring has been acquired, ladies and gentlemen. Why, thank you very much. Will do. Anyways, onwards. And as most of you also mentioned, Sonic Mania even has its own original to the game, which include which obviously includes Studiopolis too. Including Studiopolis, I meant to say. Please forgive me, I still can't talk today. Fantastic. I was doing so well until now. And I will say, these zones are pretty sweet whenever you do come to encountering them. They're pretty dang quick, and again, a great example of what a Sonic level should look like. A perfect balance between platforming and speed. Gotta love that, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Everything's making an appearance here. Even those little kind of things from the Marbles on us that Peace mentioned, which for whatever reason I called UFOs. If that's what they were supposed to be, at least. We'll never know, since we never got to see them. That's why they went unused. Anyways, one of my favorite zones here, again, just because of how creative and elaborate it is. Just look at this, pretty much, hence the name, Studiopolis. You're basically in an animation studio, or a movie studio for that matter. You gotta love it. Decent amount of reference here. Would you look at that, even the Sega Sonic, everything's just making its own appearance here. You gotta love that. Anyways, you might as well go super right about now, anyways. I'm looking forward to yet again break the game. Here we go, I'm filling out. Because you can apparently also do that at Super Sonic, again. Just hold up and then hold the jump button, and then you will pull it off as soon as you have it unlocked. But speaking of which, once you do grab enough tokens, and once you do unlock these abilities, the way you access them is just by going to the settings in the menu. In the main story mode at least, and then selecting that option. Or at least enabling it, in other words, since again, by the time you unlock all these, the game's just by the settings are all default when you start with 0, so just plain old Sonic, so you might as well. It definitely does have a decent level of variety too. One of the reasons as to why I have a lot of these feature Sonics, because I played this game a lot, as most of you obviously notice. Anyways, pretty sure there's a ring over here. And would you look at that, I was right. How convenient. Convenience strikes back once more, ladies and gentlemen, and that is more than appreciated. Anyways, we're almost at the boss. Any day now. Doing that for obvious reasons, trust me. This is all going perfectly accordingly if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, that's just about all there is to attack one, so we might as well just make way for the mini boss. Or for the boss, I should say, since this is the first time you encountered the hard-boiled heavies, and I accidentally even pressed the debug button. No one saw that. In this case, we're fighting a heavy gunner. Fantastic. There you have it. And in the process of recording this, I also forgot to turn off debug mode, since again, if you end up getting a decent amount of tokens, again, this is another reason why you definitely want to play Blue Spears. You can even unlock debug mode, which again is the most broken mode to ever exist. It basically allows you to even access unused items and even take a decent look at levels. Makes navigation a little easier and somewhat beginner friendly too if you really want to mess around. But let's just say I did mess up the sequence, since you do want to be careful whenever you do use debug mode, since if you use it too often then the game might soft lock and you definitely don't want that to happen. Anyways, basically, as most of you already noticed, this is Heavy Gunner, and the way this boss works is you always want to avoid the red missiles, but however, he's gonna shoot a blue missile, and that's the missile you want to hit. If you do hit that missile, then it'll home towards him. Obviously, it's gonna take a bit, since again you have to deal with his egg robots or his badnik or the other badniks, to put it that way. But once you do kill them all, and once you do hit the final blue missile towards him, the boss basically concludes. This is a mini boss after all, and you do want to be careful not to get hit. But if you're like me and you have supersonic alive, you can basically just hold right to win. And just like that, he runs away, and the helicopter crashes onto the studio office. Lovely. Anyways, with that out of the way, that is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. Fine act indeed, if I do say so myself. Right, thank you very much. Nice. You gotta love the animations. Even though they even bother animating the signs, it all just comes together perfectly. Anyway, since we use debug mode, that happens. Well, Studio Office Act 2, gotta love the additional cutscenes. Act TV indeed. If I wouldn't have used debug mode, then the zone would just instantly cut to the next one instead of fading away, or it would have just immediately just go to the next part of the level instantly. I guess that's the one downside to using debug mode, apart from obviously just breaking the game by accident. Since if you do use debug mode, then you will skip most of the cutscenes, so that is kind of sad. It's a lot again, as mentioned in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the cutscenes are beautifully made. Beautiful, there's nothing here. Plus indeed. And that was all for nothing, thank you. Thanks, game. Oh goody, the lottery. Fantastic. I don't want to get no robotics, please. Thank you. Oh, never mind. We already. For a second, I thought we got a robotic. You definitely want to be careful not to get one. Again, going for the lottery is not recommended, ladies and gentlemen. It's a gamble, and there's a chance you might end up losing all your rings. Sure, there's a chance you might even get a jackpot, but again, in my experience, I don't recommend doing so. Anyways, I want to go this way. Just like that, and boy, are the animations satisfying as always. You gotta love that. And approaching there's yet again another giant ring, since again, convenience is a thing in this game, as always. Or a thing in video games for that matter. Anyways, recommend grabbing the bubble shield, for obvious reasons, since, speaking of which, the shields even make their own a comeback here, which you gotta love. Yet again, as previously mentioned, just implementing every aspect while you're at it. Anyways, by the looks of things, we want to go up. After pointing out the obvious, out of the way, beautiful. You gotta love the enemy designs. All the badniks are even resemble fans in a way. Again, just perfectly fits with the theme of each zone, and you gotta love that. It all just comes together smoothly. Again, and the Egg TV references and all that stuff too. Indeed a truly classic reference, if I do say so myself at this moment. Anyways, we're approaching I do believe we're approaching a giant ring right about now, so I'll take the time and go out of my way to grab it for those of you who are wondering how to want to know the other locations. in case you're not supersonic and mess up one of the spell stages. Just right here, just gotta go down. There are actually two ways to access the spell stage. You can either A, combo off Batniks, or if you don't feel like doing that, you could just go this way, and then assuming you have precision, you could just bounce off that lantern and then or jump off that lantern, and then congratulations. The ring is yours. Just make sure you don't fall off. Or else you'll have to use tails. Just in case if you don't feel like using them, since again, using tails takes a bit of patience. It's satisfying, alright, but again, it's a bit time consuming too. Though to be fair, you can manipulate tails' movement, and boy, is that more than ever satisfying. You pretty much control the duo, instead of rather just having him just follow you. Well, yes, this was also a feature in Origins. This game pretty much did it first, so. Once again, at the time, the only games that actually somewhat let you influence the AI pattern were with the Genesis games, and that was only restricted to the second player, so. There's that. Anyway, here we go, back to going up loot. And just like that, it's time for the mini-boss, or the zone boss, I have to say, and just like that, beautiful. Remember that one Batnik from Muffy Warzone that blows you away? Yeah, there it is. Not one Batnik or chicken makes a return in this game. You gotta love that. Anyways, with Robotic's weather machines crashed in seconds thanks to Supersonic, that is studio optics, ladies and gentlemen. A fine zone indeed. One that is truly to be a zone truly to be remembered. Gotta love the visuals. Top notch, if I do say so myself, and even the flippies too. A lot of reused assets, and even the ones from Mystic Cave and Labyrinth make a return here. Beautiful. Anyways, as shown here, breaking news: Flying Battery has officially made a comeback here. Gotta love that. Anyways, here we go. One of the most memorable zones in Sonic and Knuckles. Fantastic. Anyways, this one plays not just hypothetically, technologically the same, for the most part at least. Once again, when it comes to the first few seconds within the act, the zones are pretty much a replica of the original ones, or of their Genesis counterpart, to put it that way. But boy, some music yet again more than appreciated. Definitely want to grab the fire show, since as previously mentioned, it grants you immunity to fire aspect, or it makes you invulnerable to fire aspect, which as always is more than appreciated. Anyways, back to platforming first we go. This is a platform after all, so there you have it. Gotta love the music again, just all together just remastered into one game. You gotta love that. It's just beautiful. Anyways, definitely want to bounce off that for obvious reasons. And I was wrong. I'm pretty sure you have to have more than 25 rings, not 30. Whoops. That is to ask the booster stages at least. Anyways, just about as previously mentioned, every feature from every other Sonic game makes a return here, which include the shields, and even the shield that just has some additional hit points even makes a return here. Anyways, when it comes to Flying Battery, I recommend you always grab the Thunder or Electric and the Fire Shield, since the Thunder one grants you weird lightning and again magnifies rings towards you, and even has another cool feature where exclusively in Flying Battery, it basically pulls to the ceiling, which makes finding most of the giant rings a lot easier. So do keep that in mind. You won't regret it, trust me. Anyway, going this way, and just look at that! My favorite part of Flying Battery. This part. My favorite. Anyways. Just yet again a matter of playing the patient game. My favorite game of all time. Obviously. I mean, this is hypothetically the 6th time we've done this, so as Sonic at least. If we're actually going full livestream, if we're actually counting every livestream I've actually done regarding Sonic, I'd say about the 10th time, right about now. Anyways, according to this one, just like that inconvenience has struck me once more, as we have lost more rings. We were so close to getting an extra life, but it's fine. Wouldn't be yet again a livestream without convenience, so there you have it. Anyways, for this giant ring, you want to have the electric shield. for obvious reasons. Or if that happens, if inconvenience strikes back, you always have the option to use your good old friend miles per hour to give you a boost. And just like that, if you've done this correctly, congratulations, the diamond ring is yours. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, that's all it takes. Rest in peace, those old mist. Nothing, you are invincible. Anyways, back to platforming throws to go. Beautiful, and just like that, I even got hit once more. Beautiful. And yet again, convenience has struck me once more as we found another diamond ring. Beautiful. What did I tell you? It's all coming together. And for whatever reason, there's a platform down there. Don't recall that being there previously. Anyways, beautiful. Any day now, please. Don't mind me. We're about to be here for about 10 years now. Sales has really done a decent job describing each situation right about now. Any day now. And conveniently, we already have the mini boss, and we lost all our rings right as we in the most inconvenient moments. Pretty convenient, but anyways, this is just about an imitation of that one boss of the boss in Act 3, or the boss that used to be in Act 3 at least. Here, just about every badnik makes a comeback here, at least the remains of it, since to be fair, we are in the trash here after all, so there you have it. Anyways, what you want to do here is you want to basically combo off the boss, since he's going to spawn badniks and you want to jump off those. Or if you have Miles, you can just, yet again, you get him to use his power, since again, he's a killing machine, and then end him within seconds. But it's going to come to a point where you can just jump high enough to just reach him again. You do jump a lot higher in Mania, so there you have it. That is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen, and which, look at that, even that one unused enemy from Sonic 1 makes a comeback here. Everything all just come together. Pretty sure there were only enemies from Sonic 1 in there. Pretty interesting. That's why they're called, that's why they're unused after all. So there you have it. Anyways, Flying Battery Act 2. As previously mentioned, Flying Battery for the most part plays it exactly the same as it used to, but however, Zone 2, or Act 2, I like to call it, plays out a lot differently, since this act is, in my opinion, perhaps the longest act in the entire game. Since, boy oh boy, does it have a lot of features. Anyways, before we get into that, I'm gonna just do you all a favor and show you where to find another diamond ring, since you definitely want to know, keep the locations in mind, or their whereabouts, in other words. And well, I'm at it. Since we've already reached a zone as long as Flying Battery Act 2, should also explain how most of these zones are even compiled together. Since I should probably point out how a lot of these zones are pretty much just their original counterpart, with obviously a bit of some previous aspects from that zone, but at the same time combined with aspects from another zone. In this case, Flying Battery Act 2, as obviously mentioned, uses assets from Wacky Workbench, which is pretty neat if I do say so myself. Kinda does resemble it in a way, since again you obviously have the electric status effects from the zone, and then yeah, you kind of bounce off obstacles in a way. But just like that, convenience has once again got me killed, since again physics is a thing in this game, so here you have it. Anyways, I'm gonna try my best not to mess this up. So to be fair, I'd say in my opinion, speaking of physics, Sonic Mania probably has the most reasonable ones. One of the most reasonable ways of handling the physics altogether, if you ask me. Just because of how responsive the controls even are in this game, and all that. Anyways, you could just go out of your way to destroy each and every one of the spikes in your way, or you could just destroy the main badnik controlling it himself. Also known as those one badniks from the cutscenes from the opening cutscenes that we almost never saw afterwards. Glad you can actually kill them now. Gotta love that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to Genocide City. Anyways, heal out. Thank you. Nice. All coming along beautifully, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Ooh, double nice. Combo. Anyways. Tails nearly abandoned again, just like that we missed the giant, but it's fine. And just like that convenience has stroked me back once more. Anyway, going right, for obvious reasons. You know the rule when it comes to platforming, always go to the right. Anyways. Unless you're forced to take another path at least. Anyways. Going down. For the most part, the piles of destroyed abandoned parts pretty much just works exactly nearly the same as the oil and oil ocean. Where you constantly want to be jumping, that way you don't suffocate to death, since you definitely don't want to know how that feels like. Anyways, we're almost done here. Please bear with me. I know what you're feeling right now. We're gonna stay. I was gonna die. When it comes to bouncing off specific obstacles, I do recommend you be a bit cautious, since if you have a lot of speed, it can be something difficult to control Sonic in midair, since again, physics. So there you have it. Do be careful at times. Anyways, Super Sonic. I hope I don't get dead. And just like that, we reached the zone boss, just none other than the good old Doctor himself. Which, boy, in my opinion, this boss is a huge step up from the one in Sonic 3. This could just control a giant spider, you have to bounce these spikes. Just be careful not to suffocate to death, since you definitely don't want to know how that feels like. If you have Super Sonic, you're supposed to bounce off those balls into the bumper, that way sending them towards the spikes. But if you're Super Sonic, you pretty much have enough human strength to pretty much just knock it within a single push. Just like that, what did I tell you? Anyway, we might as well do this get the antenna way up a little bit. Since, to be fair, it is only one aspect, so it worked fine. Anyway, for the most part, this boss just loops the King's pattern, so nothing besides that. And just like that, even another Sonic CD reference for this jetpack. Gotta love that. And just like that is the zone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you. You love me some good animations, and just like that, more flickies have been freed. Anyways, on the Press Garden Zone, another zone original exclusive to Sonic Mania. Or original zone in the game, since this game did make its first appearance here. And first and only appearance in Mania, at least. Anyways, here we go. Love the zone. It's basically just a factory. Gotta love that. Always wonder what those things were in the background. I always thought they were newspapers. The way the factory is even compiled, the way it works is even pretty elaborate too. It has a very Japanese atmosphere, which I definitely do, which I love, which I dearly love. You gotta love it, you know. Every single feature, or aspect, I should say. And musical, I nearly messed up my jump, and thank you. Anyway, after playing the patient game, my favorite game of all time, where for the most part you want to be jumping off the rotating platforms, and would you look at that? Does this enemy seem familiar to you? Probably not, since this enemy is since this enemy was originally meant to be in Sonic 1, but it went unused. There you have it again. That's why I said Sonic Mania is just mostly one Sonic game compiled with a lot of recycled ideas from the classic area, and from a lot of reused assets too. But to be fair, they are really well used, really well made. Anyway, back to platform tutorials. You could be patient wait for that, or you could spin dash on top of here. Whichever you prefer, though spin dashing is a lot quicker and will save you a decent amount of time. Again, you might as well speed run while you're at it, so there you have it. Going down. And as always, Mania does a decent job just altogether with the level design altogether when it comes to which ways you want to go. Since again, Sonic, apart from speed and platforming, I'd say one of the other reasons why Sonic level design is very memorable is because it's not linear. Sure, it is linear in a way, but you're not always guaranteed to go the same path over and over again. Just because you all need creativity behind these levels, and yet again, the endless possibilities. Gotta love. Anyways, just be sure to time your bounces correctly, and you should be good to go. Or fine, whichever you prefer. Anyways, killing all these enemies. Fantastic. And back to platforming across you go. Lovely. Fantastic. Anyways, rest in peace. And I'm obviously using the killer for a lot of these sections yet again. For the most part, since, again, I do love me some good Sonic CD references. Because most of you know it's one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, so there you have it. So we're going this way. I'm gonna ignore the monitors for now. It's something I definitely won't regret later. With the next 10 seconds to be specific. Anyways, so we're going this way. Nice. Always more than ever before, satisfying to just bounce off every obstacle in resistance. Nice. Anyways. Beautiful. For once I've done something in some way. Proud of myself. Thank you. Anyway, Tails has just tired himself out and we have to bounce now. Just please don't mind me, it's gonna take me about 10 years to actually time my jumps correctly, since it feels a bit, it's at times it's a bit awkward to control the conveyor belts. Or your jump height, at least. Anyways, smack the platforming pro to go. Oh goody. Nice. And yet again, for Press Guard Zone, I also recommend you grab the fire shield for obvious reasons, since you can pretty much just break through crates entirely and melt the ice too. There you have it. Look at that, even got a trophy out of that. Great expectations, there you have it. For those of you playing on Xbox or PlayStation, that's how you get the trophy. Just break some of the crates using the fire shield. You definitely won't regret it. Don't ask why no. This guy is coming all the more together. Thank you. Anyways, down we go as I'm saving Super Sonic for the mini boss for obvious reasons. Obviously. Anyways, going this way, and yet again, as we blast our way through the level in Super Sonic speed and in style. Anyways. Pretty sure there's even... Oh, never mind. Like, or you could just do that. Whoops. Just gonna lower the commentary a bit, since, well, that wasn't 100% intentional, I might as well just show off what I meant by the golden token, since, to be fair, you definitely do want to be grabbing a lot of these. For reasons previously mentioned, so, here we go. Please don't mind me. I'm making this as much efficient as it possibly can be. As it can possibly be, I meant to say. Please forgive me. Also, you gotta love the music. New Masters, yeah, as always, just top notch. Or the remix, I should say. Beautiful. Though again, as previously mentioned, just be sure you don't spend too much time with spell chase, or else navigation might be a bit tricky to pull up, or else navigating might become a bit more difficult, since again, you will speed up. You saved that a perfect. That's a first, thank you. 11 more. Where are they? And just like that, what I tell you, that's what I meant by speed. You definitely want to be careful. I was only inches away from grabbing the golden token, but it's fine. Anyways, onto the mini boss. I'm gonna ignore the timing for now. I don't think I might have been wrong actually. I don't think there's even one over there. But anyways, onto the mini boss, and we're just gonna go Super Sonic. Since again, I don't want this to be 5 years since the Blue Spirit. The Blue Spirit spell saves cost me a lot of time already, so there it is. Efficiency, if I do say so myself. Like, just like that, it explodes in a Yoshi Island style manner, and just like that, we've done it. That is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Nice. On to Act 2, shall we? Since normally the way you wanna deal with the mini boss is you usually just want them to break open the orange trays, but using the spotlight, so that way he accidentally injures himself, and then while he's stunned in a way, to put it that way, since it makes it a lot easier to remember, that's when you want to strike and you want to hit him during that time. Anyways, this is exactly why I told you all to grab the fire shield, since again, the obstacles in Crash Bar actually just mean nothing to you. Mean nothing if you do have the fire shield. Well, again, it just shows the how the factory works all together. They even went from chopping down cherry blossom trees completely. You gotta love that. Yeah, and just in case you didn't leave me about the chat when I said this represented somewhat of a Japanese atmosphere, and boy is it lovely. I love it. Beautiful, and even the music too. It's all perfectly coming together. You gotta love that. Anyway, going down for now. A decision that I'm definitely going to regret within the next 10 seconds or so. Nice. Alright, going down. Thank you. Glad that wasn't a waste of time, and just like that, you gotta love these animations. Again, another Sonic CD reference, and boy, it makes it all the funnier too. Beautiful. Next animation confirmed. Well, yes, in theater. It looks like it can't go that way for obvious reasons. So, going this way, and we're gonna get hit. It's all part of the plan. Don't worry. With this one, we're just backtracking. Fantastic, since I've lost my way. Nice. Definitely wish I had the fire aspect shield by now. Anyways, first we learned that way previously. So here we go. Actually, never mind. We haven't. This is actually a new path. We're going this way. Oh goody. Might as well let the game do the rest of the work for you. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna AFK for about a good 10 seconds or so. Just like that, and we can finally break free. Again, comedy, ladies and gentlemen. You know the good old saying, laughter gives you life, after all, and we just missed a giant ring. Fantastic. I definitely saw that. But it's fine. At least you know where to go for next time. Nice. And as always, convenience strikes back, as I got hit by one of the bombs thanks to a woodpecker. A woodpecker batnet, for that matter. If that's what they're actually supposed to be. I'm not sure they're actually woodpeckers. They just remind me of woodpeckers, but they might be woodpeckers. Anyways, we got off topic really quickly now, so I'm gonna go back to platforming now. Thank you. Yeah, just like that, we have to fight one of the hardboiled heists again. This is Heavy Shinobi. Beautiful. Again, perfectly fitting for the Japanese atmosphere, since again he just represents a ninja kind of boss in a way. You gotta love too. Pretty creative, and I love it, and I love his patterns. But as every other boss, he goes on less than 10 seconds. So rest in peace. We'll see you later. Every time I say Heavy Shinobi, it just reminds me of Obi-Wan for whatever reason. They do sound pretty similar. To be fair, I guess that may have been where they got the name from. Well, that's just a theory. It could be wrong. Anyway, there's a good old boy Robot, and again, just like that, he's investigating something in Little Planet, and just like that, Metal Sonic's definitely gonna make a comeback here, given by the tease. And just like that, it goes to show that throughout our adventure, Robotnik has once more used the powers of the fans en route to retake control of Little Planet. Boy, was that convenient, since not too long ago we pretty much just saved Little Planet from the clutches of Robotnik. But anyways, we're back to Soda Speedway. Definitely glad they brought the zone back up. For the most part, they did bring it back just for the sake of the Metal Sonic fight, which is more than perfectly understandable. But again, I'm glad they brought that zone back, since in my opinion is probably my favorite zone in Sonic CD. Anyways, everything's making a comeback here. We're even in the past right now. We're not even in the present too. Just gotta love it. And even the music too, just beautiful. I will admit, I do prefer the original soundtrack in the Sega CD, but I could say the past remix is just as good, almost just as good at least. It hits hard. You gotta love it too. Anyways, the one reuse asset from another zone here is that of Marble Barn zone, given by the many obstacles here. God, even everything's coming together. Even that one generator meant to destroy the end of each zone. After the Robotnik fight, at least. Which this time around, do pretty much the exact same thing that they used to. Restore nature. So just be warning when you're platforming on top of those piranha plants, to put it that way, to just not hit the right floor or their face at least, or else you'll take damage for obvious reasons, since they'll almost eat you alive. So you definitely don't want to know how that feels like. So do beware. Anyways, back to Green Hope. Back to good old Starlight 2.0. Patience. And I could even go as far as saying that just like in CD, Stardust Speedway again. One of my favorite zones is Sonic Mania. I could go as far as saying that I like every zone in Sonic Mania equally, but I do have some preferences, which includes the obvious. Anyways, back to playing the good old patient game, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, we're almost the mini-boss. But I will say, one thing I do wish they would have re-implemented was the time travel, since that's the one thing you don't really control. You don't control in the Sonic CD levels remastered in Mania. Sure, it's understandable as to why they didn't do this, since again, it would have just acted as an unnecessary waste of time, and it wouldn't have really been all that necessary. But again, it would have been cool. It would have been nice to see just for the sake of just staying true to the game it came from. Since, to be fair, you really can't leave the past, since the only two ones that ever show up in sort of Speeder are the past stories and in the present, for obvious reasons. Anyways, going up, and there's always, I'd say the Sonic CD is also known for playing well with the background too, as obviously shown here. You gotta love too. Again, the creativity behind these levels and all the effort put into this is just amazing. Anyways, Super Sonic 5 guess it, it's indeed that time of the day again. Mini-boss, which in this case is those enemies that made their debut in Sonic CD. The most commonly used enemies, at least. It's not only did they make an appearance in Stardust Speedway, but in Metallic Madness too. I guess the development team really loved. The developers really loved them all that much. They even made a mini boss, which was in fact an enlarged version of the enemy itself, which goes out in less than 10 seconds. But still, it's pretty creative to see. Anyways, let's see our good old beautiful cutscene, which I absolutely love. There it is. Rest in peace, robot generator. Yet again, convenience strikes back, as not only was there a robot generator right after the boss, but there was also a future post and a booster. Again, you gotta love the cutscenes. In my opinion, the best transition in the entire game. I love it so much. For obvious reasons. Again, everything just makes a comeback here, and just like that, Stardust Speedway Act 2, which you guessed it, is again works almost identically as to the way it did in Sonic CD. Boy, you gotta love that soundtrack. And once you look at that, convenience has broken back once more, and you have found the giant ring by accident. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That will do. And just like that, convenience can as shown, can be both beneficial and can even work as a disadvantage. Since yet again, you were conveniently an enemy 2 meters away from me. So there you have it. The get rings only to immediately losing to an enemy 10 seconds later. Convenience, am I right? But anyways, this is exactly why I wanted these to peel up, just to stay true to the zone. And boy, you gotta love that. So being fair, the peel out is a lot more efficient than the spin out, in my opinion, since you have the time to just trying to do this. You're just gonna use the peel and then just immediately curl up. To be fair, it does give you a much better boost in the spin match. Oh, and just like that, we've even uncovered a giant ring. Again, convenience, ladies and gentlemen. Again, just goes to show how generous Stardust Speedway is, and again, I love the zone to death. Just because of creativity, they even added fires too altogether. It really just goes to show. It really just goes to show how this zone, in a way, just resembles just an actual speedway. Even with the nighttime setting too, you gotta love. It's a lot more colorful than ever before now too. Saying again, this is technically a 32-bit. This is we're technically working with 32-bits here, so there you have it. Anyways, we're almost there. Could even technically call Sonic Mania almost a Sonic 4 where you almost never got. Or the Sonic 4 where you were meant to get, at least. Please don't kill me. Anyways, we're almost there. Yet again, hitting with a good old surprise attack. The element of surprise, that is. So I gotta love the additional features again. Beautiful. Could say they have almost compiled the American soundtrack and the Japanese together just to make one entire soundtrack. But that's just a theory, since I've only heard a portion of the American soundtrack, or at least the way the start of Speedway theme starts, at least. But anyway, just like that, our good old boy, or nemesis or rival, Metal Sonic yet again makes a return here, as shown previously, and the boss works a lot differently than it used to. And so rather than having a race against him, you just have to get to a specific point before he kills you. But here, Super Sonic, you can just play the good old game of holding to the right. They even went as far as implement the hologram, you gotta love. And look at that, even the Silver Sonics from Sonic 2 even make a return here. Again, it just goes to show just how much they resemble the normal enemies, since, to be fair, the Silver Sonic fight in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 almost felt like you were fighting a Batman, rather than an actual boss. In fact, that boss was such a joke, they even made them enemies, an enemy of it. They even made them an enemy that made a cameo appearance in the Metal Sonic fight. As I previously mentioned throughout my mini live streams, and just like that, 9 seconds have passed, and rest in peace, Miracle. You can see there were a lot more Metal Sonics in production. Again, just goes to show how deep this goes. And just like that, our good old boy Robotnik here, just giving them the power of the Phantom Louie himself. So pretty much just try to kill us. And just like that, there he is. Beautiful. It almost reminds me of that one boss from Chaotix, for obvious reasons. But anyway, this boss works identically to the Death Egg robot fighting Sonic in Sonic and Knuckles. But basically, you again wanna hit the weak point or the emerald, in other words. So in this case, Ruby, and then you'll kill him. And there it is. Oh, but just like that, convenience-sized Stroken Mag, as that one enemy that killed us earlier has once again lowered our possibilities of grabbing the Ruby. Fantastic. And we really just did nothing in the process. Again, convenience strikes back, if I do say so myself. Even though Robotnik statue's back. And oh no. Definitely building something over there, definitely. As previously mentioned, Robotnik has completely yet again taken control of Little Planet. Once more. But for the better, this time we don't have to go out of our way to hunt for generators, which is for the better. Or from that one cutscene. Which again is more than ever before appreciated. Thank you. Anyways, with that cute cutscene out of the way, on the Hydro City, beautiful. I'm glad the Sonic again made a comeback. It's, in my opinion, it's perhaps the most memorable water zone in the entire franchise. Yet again, just because of how much emphasis it puts on speed than anything else. Gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Sonic game after all, so there you have it. There you go. And boy, is the music more than ever before appreciated. Again, Mania has a decent soundtrack. Again, truly unforgettable if I do say so myself. And even the bullets. Again, just a lot of features from previous water levels just making a return here. Even yet again features from the Game Gear games, given by the Silver Sonic reference and all that too. Anyways, Tails look like he's having the time of his life over there, but whatever the heck that glitch was supposed to be. But anyways, what I like about Hydro City is the fact that you can really control the flow of water. Since at times you wanna lower it, but at times when you wanna when you wanna go up, you do wanna raise it a bit. For the sake of using the bubbles from Sonic 2. Again, another reference from the Game Gear game. Again, I could pretty much just go as far as saying that the Hydro City and Sonic Mania was pretty much just compiled of reused assets from both the Hydro City in Sonic 3 and the water level from the Game Gear game, from the Game Gear Sonic 2 at least, I could say. Thank you. Getting some serious Zelda vibes right here. The water temple, in other words. But anyways, we've gone off topic. Let's not get off topic now, shall we? Just like that, back to running on water. Beautiful. Satisfaction is as always more than obtained. More than reach, I should say. Thank you. But anyways, again, as obviously seen, or as obviously shown, for Hydro City you definitely want to have the bubble shield equipped, since again for obvious reasons, that way you don't have to worry about drowning. Don't ask how I know. Anyway, just be sure to press the switches and then from there just navigate your way in the bubble. Just be sure not to hit any badniks. You don't want to know how that feels like, since half the time you do want to stay inside the bubble. Since again, you don't have to worry about drowning, and for the most part, it is the main way you're meant to navigate across levels. Anyways, assuming you've encountered all 3 boats, you would have gotten an achievement here, or a trophy if you're playing on PlayStation, which is titled Boat Enthusiast, so there you have it. For those of you wondering how to get that achievement, there you go. The only reason I may have not pointed out as much as I did with the previous achievement or trophy is because I grabbed it much longer ago. 1 year ago to be exact, but anyways, here we go. Back to platforming pearls. Beautiful. We're almost there. Nice. Everything's just making a comic here, and boy, you gotta love it. Here we go. Nice. Didn't need the switch, since again, we're conserving our bubble, for obvious reasons. Anyways, down we go. Tails definitely looks like he's having the time of his life over there, but rest in peace. But it's fine, he'll catch up within 10 seconds or less, so he'll be fine. Again, all perfectly part of my master plan. And just like that, he's even enjoying us, and beautiful. And there's our good old boy Robotnik over there. He also makes another appearance. Beautiful. But I should also mention that if you stay in the bowl for too long, it will pop, since I guess Sonic just all year within it was pretty much just taken entirely by Sonic, so there you have it. Anyways, time for the mini-boss, which is yet again Robotnik himself. He really went all out with the exercise. To be fair, his appearance is pretty misleading, since not only because he can outrun Sonic, but because he can pretty much just swim. Since that's something Sonic can do. He hates water. Anyways, there we go. Going super for obvious reasons, since this part, that way to make this part a lot more snappier to navigate. Anyways, and just like that, we have become the Doctor himself, and we've switched places, as we're pretty much controlling the Eggmobile from the Hydro City boss, and we're basically using his own weapon against him now. How remarkable, if I do say so myself. Anyway, as obviously shown, the way this boss works is you wanna track Robotnik towards you, and while staying clear from the bombs he puts down, or water bombs, I should say. I keep forgetting what they're called. Please don't kill me. I've tried my best to point out as many things as I possibly can, and I apologize. Beautiful. I hesitated within the last moment. So that. Though to be fair, yet again, Robotnik's hitbox is pretty large, so you don't have to worry about getting hit most of the time. And just like that, 10 seconds later, we kill them. As yet again, we have proved that for once. Robotnik's invents actually work against them. No, you have to use a propeller and then just make him ascend towards you, and then you have to hit him with the propeller. Yeah, and he's supposed to show you how Sonic and Robotnik pretty much just switch places within the Hydro City boss. Gotta love that. Speaking of the Hydro City boss, we actually did this the other way around, since that was actually supposed to be the zone boss. Since in Mania, the zone boss is actually the boss of the mini boss in Act 1, and then the boss that was originally meant to be the Act boss is actually the zone boss. Anyway, you with me so far? Just a gear. Anyways, here we go. Back to platforming for us. Thank you. Grabbing the monitor for obvious reasons. That way I can cheese the game later. Please bear with me. Anyways, here we go. Gotta love the music. I'd say Hydro City is, in my opinion, apart from Oil Ocean, in my opinion, the most unforgettable soundtrack in the entire game. She has to lie. I'd say just about every song in Mania is just unforgettable. They really just hit the level of Sonic CD. when it came to the soundtrack. You gotta love it. A huge step up from the Genesis counterpart. You gotta love that too. But again, everything can pod together. Nice. Still, you love that part. Hits hard. Anyways, only 3 rings away from destroying the game completely, so we might as well. Thank you. We'll take the combo away, thank you very much. Anyway, peel out. Nice. And I might also point out that every time you bypass a loop, if you're curled up, you'll actually go faster. Just keep that in mind, especially if you want to breeze through levels entirely. Just a tip. Especially if you're really that desperate to speedrun Sonic Mania. Or Sonic overall. Anyways, here we go, going down. This is pretty much just the Stardust Speedway of Sonic 3 Knuckles, so there you have it. Except it's a water level, so there you have it. Since, as previously mentioned, what would a platformer be without a water level? There you have it. It's obviously almost as if you were to say that you were gonna make a platformer without the ability to jump. It really goes that far, doesn't it? Anyways, visible now, so you might as well just endlessly abuse the peel out. And just like that, there's a giant ring. Conveniently, right in the exact same spot as before as one of the giant rings in Sonic 3. Again, you gotta love the references. This every Sonic game yet again every classic Sonic game at least making a return here. Anyway, rest in peace, fellas. Suffocation really wasn't feeling nice with the AI today. There you have it. He also knows how it feels now. Definitely want to grab the blue wire. That way, it makes collecting drop rings a lot easier. Since that's what the blue ring does. If you hit that monitor the next time you get hit, instead of dropping all your rings at once and nearly making it impossible to grab all of them again, if you grab the blue ring monitor, it actually just makes all those rings a lot larger. And you drop less of them too, so it makes them a lot easier to grab since they do have a much larger hitbox. Obviously. Anyway, I'm gonna play it safe here a bit, since I don't want to lose my rings. Just kidding. Anyways, here we go. Going super already, since we're almost at the end of the level. Again, I could say the levels in Sonic Mania are almost are just slightly longer than the ones in Sonic and Knuckles, or in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, at least. Anyways, remember how I mentioned how the acting zone bosses of Hydro City technically just switch places? Well, yeah, it's the case here. Except this boss has phases. Phase 1, you want to make sure you don't hit any obstacles, obviously, and you want to make sure you don't drown. You want to hit the water bombs, or at least activate them. That way, Robotnik runs into them. If he runs into them, then he'll release an air bubble, and that's what you want to breathe. Since you definitely don't want to drown. Don't ask how I know. Yeah, Tails is really just getting all the horrible experience from the adventure right now. But anyways, if we're just Super Sonic, we could just do this. Once again, we might as well yet again abuse this square advantage and destroy the game entirely. Anyways, here it is. Remember how I said how the acting zone boss could play this? Well, here it is. In case you didn't believe me, it's the exact same thing. Only this is phase 2. So you can take a lot of hits. Just like that, you hardly got a chance to attack, and rest in peace, Robotnik, you will be missed. We'll see you later. And Metallic Madness. Spoiler alert, or actually that's a lie, no Ocean. Since Metallic Madness and Ocean obviously make a return here. And just like that, convenience strikes back and another path has been revealed. Beautiful. On to the next zone, which is actually, fun fact, a reused zone that originally went unused. Welcome to Mirage Saloon Zone, and there's our good old boy Knuckles joining us, and rest in peace. As the heavy magician just completely knocked him out of the tornado. Rest in peace, Knuckles, you will be missed. Well, he has fun and navigates his way through his own level, which will come to play later. Spoiler alert. We have to navigate our way through Sky Chase, the sequel. Only this time we're not going after Robotnik. We're just going after one of the we're just going after the Heavy Magician. That's his name, by the way. Or that's her name, I should say. Anyways, again, back to playing the pitch, and we go. You gotta love the music. Again, another quote-unquote original zone. Since to be fair, this zone was originally meant to be Desert Dazzle which, fun fact, was actually a zone meant to be in the remaster of Sonic CD that originally came out in 2011. Fun fact, goes to show how many zones they reused for this game, or how many recycled ideas they implemented, or how much they how they pretty much just recycled ideas entirely. What I meant to say, please forgive me, I still can't talk. Fantastic. Unsurprisingly, but anyways, with that convenience out of the way, back to navigation we go. Beautiful. You know, there's even one part in the song, in the song for Mirage Saloon Act 1, that even resembles the theme used for Skycase. You gotta love it. And to be fair, this Act 1 is based off of that zone. And just like that, once more, you have reached Robotnik as he yet again made a train of his own, and just like that, there he goes. Welcome to the Old West, ladies and gentlemen, or the Wild West in other words, and there he goes. You have to chase after him now. Anyways, any minute now. And just like that, Sonic automatically jumps up, and conveniently, there's a giant ring right there. Yet again, convenience strikes back. Why, thank you very much. No, thank you. I'm gonna try my best to play it safe here. For obvious reasons, since yet again, you might as well cheese them anywhere else while we're at it. This is the Sonic game after all. We do have all the emeralds, so here we go. Even though you can even just navigate the way throughout the train entirely. Anyways, here we go. Let's find the mini boss, and there he is. Heavy Magicians yet again making another appearance once more. And there we go. It's time for our mini boss. Which is yet again, we're asking another question. Remember that one boss for Sonic Chaos? Well, here it is. Makes a return here, and another reuse idea. Only this time the boss doesn't feel like a bat, and it can actually feels like an actual boss. Anyway, what you want to do here is, in this boss again plays around the background a bit, but you want to time your hits correctly. That way you hit him just as he's launching himself upwards. You always want to hit his face. That's a sweet point. If you hit his body, you'll only recoil off it. Just be sure you time your hits correctly. And so yet again, timing is key, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, be sure not to accidentally just spin dash off the tornado, since you can actually do that as Super Sonic if you go too fast. Again, this boss plays a lot with the background, since we are riding tornado after all. The only boss that actually revolves around using the tornado. When you fight him as Knuckles, you actually fight him. It actually more closely resembles the fight from Sonic Chaos. Fun fact. But anyway, just like that, that is Act 1, and inconveniently, the sun falls out of nowhere, and basically has gained the ability to float as the camera has completely locked itself in place, and it's soon gonna be revealed to us what actually happened. And would you look at that? It actually landed on top of his head. Beautiful. Oh, would you look at that? Another cameo appearance. It's Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Sniper, however you want to call it. It's pretty hard they changed his name, but anyway, just like that, one bullet to the face later, and the tornado has crash landed in Mirage Saloon Zone. Rest in peace, you'll be missed. Just going back to Knack, or Fang, however you want to call him. I'll just call him Knack. It just makes, in my opinion, it's a lot funnier. Speaking of his name, for whatever reason, in the North American and in the European releases of Sonic Triple Pro, for whatever reason they call him Knack the Weasel. But then afterwards they just called him. They just switched his name to Fang for whatever reason. I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, I like the name Knack a lot more. Just not only does it sound a bit funnier in my opinion, but it just somewhat describes the character a lot more. Since to be fair, he is a rat after all. And sure, you could argue that again, the fangs are technically a thing. Again, in my opinion, it's just not. It isn't as funny. Knack Louiso's, in my opinion, just a lot more expressive. And now that I think about it, it almost makes it seem like if Knack was his actual name, and he just decided to call himself Fang just to sound threatening. It goes pretty deep, but that's just a theory, as always. Usually, even though those one enemies from Spring Yard Zone, everything's just making a comeback for it. You gotta love this zone. Again, this one's just a masterpiece. Just technically, yet again, the next Spring Yard Zone, the next quote-unquote Spring Yard Zone in Sonic Mania. After Studiopolis, of course, since that was technically the first quote-unquote pinball-like level you encountered. You even gotta love it again. Even the way you can just bounce off the pianos, and even how it even resembles a bar from the early 20th century. It goes really deep too, and I love it. We're really in the Wild West over here. Don't mind us. Nice. Anyways, but speaking of which, approximately 2 minutes later, and we have to fight the Heavy Magician herself. So here we go. It's a she, not a he. Believe me or not. But anyways, one of my favorite bosses, and I love this boss, since you technically fight three quote-unquote forgotten Sonic characters that actually made their first appearance in the classic Sonic era, which include Knack Luiso, or Fang the Sniper, Beam the Dynamite, that's the green guy's name, if you want to call him that, and then lastly, Bart the Polar Bear. At first, he doesn't even look like a polar bear, but anyways. Conveniently, nearly all of them just made their appearance just about in the same year. Knack making his first appearance in Triple Storm, and I'm pretty sure the other two make their first appearance in Sonic Fighters. Could be wrong though, but that's just what I remember. But anyway, one capsule later, and that is Mirage Saloon Zone, ladies and gentlemen. We may or may not have missed 2 more giant rings, but it's fine. This is exactly why we already have Super Sonic by now, and why I showed 10 other giant rings. So, here we go, on to the next zone, which, you guessed it, is Oil Ocean Zone. And given by the industry in the background. And boy, you gotta love the remix. In my opinion, again, another remix has a lot better than the original soundtrack. It just hits a lot harder, if you know what I mean. And resembles the desert-like atmosphere, too. You gotta love it. Anyways, here we go. Grabbing the fire aspect shield for Rob your jeans, and this is a shield you want to have in Oil Ocean. That way you can literally run the industry to death down, since to be fair, note to self, kids, don't do that, don't try this at home. Or that'll happen. And you missed the giant ring, fantastic. That's unsurprising. Anyways. For the sake of time, I'm unfortunately not going to bother backtracking to get that, but that way you guys know for next time where to go. I'm sorry, please don't kill me. But it's still pretty cool. It does beg the question whether or not this was the same Oil Ocean from West Side Island, since to be fair, West Side Island never really had a desert-like zone. Or did it? It could go both ways, since to be fair, he went from going to Hydro City, which is technically in Angel Island, to just Mirage Saloon Zone, which was supposedly meant to be elsewhere, and then we just ended up in Oil Ocean. So I guess you could argue that this is not the same Oil Ocean from West Side Island. It wouldn't make a lot of sense either. But to be fair, we would only be going from one island to another unexplainably, without the use of the Phantom Ruby itself too. But anyways, with that curious fact out of the way, with more lore out of the way, that could bring this industry down, since apparently I guess Robotnik even used the powers of the Phantom Ruby to recreate this industry just to become quote-unquote rich in a way, and that never happened, since we're pretty much gonna burn it all down. Note to self, kids, yet again, don't use lighter steel oil, or this will happen, or gasoline, or petroleum for that matter. You definitely don't want to know what this feels like, and I'm surprised the entire industry hasn't burned down by this point. This is a video game after all, so there you have it. Physics strikes back. Anyways. Fantastic. 109 rings, not bad. And we haven't even encountered one giant ring, apart from that one giant ring from earlier that we clearly missed but intentionally. Or unintentionally, I should say, question mark. Anyways, there's a good old boy bootleg Mario over here. Not really, just the bad version of Mario, I like to call him. To be fair, he does look like more. He is technically a plumber, so there you have it. He was controlling the oil no lotion, but that backfired completely, and just like that, we burned the entire industry down, and then this happened, and then now the stage has officially been flooded, engulfed in smoke now. Fantastic. Well, rest in peace, Robotnik. I hope you know how to make your way out of this, buddy. Anyways, Oil Ocean Act 2, and boy, does this thing hit a lot hard now. And conveniently, there are even some more badniks related to fire. Beautiful. As if this industry can already catch a break from burning to the ground. Anyways, here we go. Fantastic. Though you will say, you gotta love the music. It's beautiful. Really does a good job representing the atmosphere right now. Well, again, you definitely want to be hitting the switches whenever possible. Since if you spend too much time in the smoke, it'll drain your range. Since again, Sonic can't breathe. So again, don't try this at home, kids. You'll definitely regret it. No say, I guess you could even argue that speaking of the switches, this zone again does somewhat resemble assets used from both Oil Ocean, hence the name, and Sandalphus too, given by the switches. You're gonna go left to right, press the switches, and I guess the smoke would represent the ghosts in a way, question mark, but oh well. Again, just goes to show the creativity behind a lot of these stages, and boy, I'm glad they implement all this together. Again, just the effort behind all these stages all together, you gotta love it. Anyways, here we go. A few more moments of burning everything down, and we'll be there in no time, quote unquote. Just like that, what did I tell you? Just like that, the entire industry at this point just caught on fire. Beautiful. Rest in peace, Robotnik. Yet again, I'll never get tired of saying that. Anyways, we're almost there, though I will say, again, the second acts of each zone are one of the longer acts in the game. To be fair, they do consist of a lot more reused assets, so there you have it. This not only applies to Flying Battery, but to Oil Ocean too. Since yet again, even the cannons make comeback here, since yet again, welcome to Donkey Kong Country, so fantastic. Here we go again, oh goody. Oh boy, oh boy. Anyways, they even changed the boss, the zone boss too, which we'll get into right in a minute here, don't worry. Don't you worry, I meant to say. Speaking of which, if this was Sonic 2, we would technically be there by now, given by that final corridor. No, we're here, actually. Never mind. Or actually, that was a lie. That confused you for a good sec there, but it's fine. We're already going underground, and Tales of Peace is about to ground. Rest in peace, buddy. You'll be missed. And again, I do love you can even enter the submarines. Again, it's just very creative. And just say that, within a matter of one badnik, I've lost my shield, and I don't think you can even cheese the boss anymore. Fantastic. Going this way, since I definitely do want to copy that monitor, for obvious reasons. Nice. Anyway, we're almost there. Any day now. Nice. Welcome to auto levels, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Anyway, yet again, a matter of bouncing from cannon to cannon, we'll be there in no time. Quote unquote. It's been, even though it's literally been 3 minutes, but it's fine. Rest in peace, though. He's just coming along with us as the AI just abruptly just falls beneath the surface, or falls under the level. Since technically we've already loaded the next part of Oil Ocean by now. It really just. Well, the animations do give it the illusion that we have to use the submarines for fast travel. The way it actually works is that it just loads the other look of the model itself, of the sprite, and then it just teleports us to the next one. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. But anyways, let's fight the zone boss, which is this thing, which is in actuality just an enlarged version, or a mech for that matter, of the octopus badniks from earlier. But also, he puts up a better fight than the submarine in Sonic 2. Yet again, it's a lot more creative in my opinion. Now, I will say, instead of firing 3 lasers, the beam for whatever reason only fires 2. I guess I was just for the sake of making this lock snappier. But just like that, that is the boss in a matter of seconds thanks to our good old friend Super Sonic, and with the power of the Chaos Emeralds, and just like that, that is Act 2. And we can finally use the submarine in the most inconvenient way possible, as apparently these things can fly. This is an airship now, and just like that, we're off. Who says submarines can't fly? But anyways, Lava Reef Act 1, you gotta love this one. Again, glad they brought this back, since we've technically almost reached the climax by now. Tension is surely building up right about now, and just like that, back to navigation we go, since we're technically back in Angel Island now. I guess that explains why it's nighttime too. So being fair, by oil lotion was technically noon if we really want to go into detail about. If you really want to try to find out how the lifespan of the adventure itself, whether or not how many days it actually took to complete the adventure. If we're talking Sonic in game at least, or within the Sonic timeline, in other words. Anyways, going down. As always, spin that left to go down, and then spin that try to go up. You definitely wouldn't read it, and don't ask if I know. I just proved my point 10 seconds earlier. That should be nearly more than enough. So here we go. Going this way. As yet again, Robotic has also used the powers of the Phantom Ruby to also retake control of Lava Zone 2 while he was at it. Since I guess Little Thunder wasn't enough for him, so he apparently needed most of Angel Island too. To be fair, I guess he technically just want to build nearly every single zone within Sonic into just an army of badniks. To be fair, that was the case with CD. As obviously shown, he pretty much just transformed Lava Reef into a mine. Sure, he may have made some progress in Sonic 3, but nowhere near the process he made in Sonic Mania. That goes to prove the power of not only convenience, but the power of the Phantom Ruby itself, doesn't it? Then again, I guess Robotnik can technically build an entire fortress in about less than a minute or two. Anyways, with more convenience out of the way, we're going this way. Not today's vacation, no thank you. Anyway, going up. Fantastic. Oh boy. Checkpoints. Almost there. We're technically going up now instead of down. Yet again, make a break for the surface, which we pretty much technically already reached by now. And boys, the background more than ever before appreciated. Again, the beauty of this game's appearance is just amazing. Again, let alone those quote-unquote 32 bits. Here we go. So yet again, bouncing off every obstacle in existence and running through loops. Beautiful. Every aspect of Sonic makes a return here, and boys, the music, as always, more than ever before appreciated. Anyways, with out of the way, I've lost all my race to one enemy, since this is one enemy as always, conveniently, and just like we're almost at the end of the act, since again, convenient timing couldn't be any better. Thanks, Tails. You love the boost, and so if you spin that with the AI, he also gives you a boost too. At least when it comes to maneuvering your way throughout the elevators. And going back to the enemy I mentioned from earlier, I guess you could technically say that Lava Reef and Hilltop were pretty much just combined to one zone. To be fair, they were both technically volcanoes, so there you have it. Anyway, so that one enemy we encountered earlier in Sonic 3, or that one enemy from the cutscene. Beautiful. Every unused asset's making a return here, and boy, I'm glad they decided to re-implement this enemy instead of the other one. This one certainly puts up a better fight, rather than just having a preparation for the Death Egg robot. So be fair, that thing was destroyed, since the Death Egg by now, and yet again this takes place after the events of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. There you have it, convenience strikes back once more as always. Truly at its finest. There you have it, and just for that is the mini-boss. For the first moments of the fight, you always want him to drill the ground wherever it's covered with rocks. That way, he actually absorbs lava and takes damage. That way, if you do this enough times, if you rinse and repeat this process enough times, you will expose his weak point and you will be able to damage him all you want. And then you'll kill him in less than 20 seconds after that. So there you have it. Anyway, Slaughter you have 2, and boy, you gotta love the music. Top notch if I do say so myself. And speaking of combined zones, most of you may have already noticed by now, but they for the second act of Lava Rezone, they merge Quartz Quadrant and they merge assets from Quartz Quadrant and Lava and assets from Lava Reef Act 2 into one zone. You gotta love that, ladies and gentlemen. Yet again, Sonic at its finest. It's truly at its finest here. Nice. And boy, you even gotta love that soundtrack. Amazing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I may or may not have missed a giant, but it's fine. All perfectly according to plan. Don't worry. Anyway, moments of convenience later, and just say that. Back to platforming first to go. Just gonna play a patient game. That way you don't suffocate to death in 10 seconds or less. Thank you. There you are. There's convenience for you, ladies and gentlemen. You even love how you can even find modders with making mirror themselves. Pretty cool. Again, it goes to show the creativity behind these levels, and you gotta love that. Anyway, it's any day now. Thank you. Nice. When we're going this way, so you've reached this part of the level. Beautiful. Back to playing our favorite game of all time, the good old patient game, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Anyway, one Batnik later, and we're almost there. Thank you. Elevation is the thing now. And so you even miss Mother. Beautiful. Timing couldn't be any better, if I do say to myself. And oh no! The most threatening obstacle of all. They really went that far to even implement the intense sound effects. Truly the most intense of all enemies. Definitely. But anyways, one more convenience later and back to platform we go. Thank you. Nice. And just that I even lost all my rings and I didn't get a single one of them back. Again, convenience, am I right? Anyways. Should be a ring about 1 meter ahead, so there you have it. More convenience. With navigation at least. Not today, thank you. Thank you. Oh boy. Doing that again, because I don't want to fall into a pit of lava within 10 seconds or less. And I think oh, never mind. Beautiful. Perfectly according to plan. What did I tell you? It went so accordingly. I nearly became speechless. What did I tell you? But I love it, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like we're going up. Moments later, after destroying a decent amount of Batniks, and boy, using that one live from Metallic Madness to just destroy the Batniks, even the remains of the Batniks from Hilltop is just the most satisfying thing ever. Again, you gotta love the level design. Beautiful. Anyway, trying to get this to go the other way, please. Thank you. And just let that even died. Beautiful. Convenience has struck me once more, and I got myself killed. Beautiful. Thank you. It's fine. I'm gonna see for once I actually do something the intended way. Give me a quick sec here. Any day now. We're not going up this time, for the better. Going this way, conveniently, since I don't feel like dealing with more Batniks. No thank you. Oh, just that, how convenient. Another giant ring, thank you. That is more than appreciated, why, thank you very much. Anyways, onwards, we're pretty much we're almost at the zone boss by now. Beautiful. And just that convenience has once again shown up. Again, couldn't be any better. Convenience, am I right? Anyways. Any day now. Thank you. Gonna go out of my way to grab that one monitor for obvious reasons. Now I have any collection of rings that I'm definitely not guaranteed to lose within the next 5 seconds or less. Oh, goody. Rest in peace, I was really missed. Anyways, onwards. Beautiful, and I even missed the conveyor belt. Thank you. What did I tell you? I lost my range already. Fantastic. And even more conveniently, there was a fire aspect shield 2 meters away from me. Can't this get any more convenient, ladies and gentlemen? And just like that, there it is. There's that quote-unquote reuse the magic syrup for originally meant to use to glitch the game out for a bit. It goes to show how much the progression Robotic really made on Angel Island as a whole. And how you really use the powers of Phantom Ruby to just completely take it over. Anyways, Hidden Palace Zone. He made it, and just like that, he's completely just about turned into a raceway. Beautiful. But speaking of which, I could have used the fire tool to kill the zone boss in 10 seconds, but that would have been fun. Anyways, any minute now. There he is, in all glory, I meant to say. Please forgive me. That hardly made any sense. And look at that, 10 seconds later, she's dead. Beautiful. And there goes Jimmy. That's what I know. That's what the Bandic's actually called. Or to the Motobug, at least. His name's actually Jimmy. Believe it or not. But anyway, conveniently, there's Little Planet yet again in the background. As this time, instead of the Death Egg, there wasn't. An opening was left with the remains of the Death Egg, and just like that, there it is. Little Planet has been reactivated once more, and Robotnik has completely taken that thing over. Anyway, one elevator ride later, and we have made it back to Metallic Madness. Oh, goody, my favorite zone. Thank you. I'm glad they brought this zone back. Really makes a great backdrop for the climax right about now, since we pretty much have reached the end of the game by now. Nearly. This is the second final quote-unquote zone to put it that way. Anyway. Nearly everything makes for a turn here, as yet again, the opening is just about the same, and the opening is just about the same, while the remaining portions of the level are somewhat original, with reuse assets from other levels. And I'm just like, one of my favorites, being that the fact we can even mess around the background. You gotta love that. Again, I may have not shown this off all that much in my Sonic CD playthrough, but Sonic CD was really a game that I played with the background a lot. Anyway, once more I messed up my precision, and just like that cost me a Chun Ring. Rest in peace, Cells, really missed. I have no idea what happened there. Guess the AI really just got himself in a position where he couldn't just respawn in time. After the spin dash, at least. Anyways, I guess you could say the soundtrack's somewhat just as memorable, but in my opinion, this is the one soundtrack that I can actually just pass off in Mania. I do prefer the original one. It just fits the setting and the atmosphere of just being this late in the game, by this point at least. Sure, it's catchy, but it just doesn't hit as hard in my opinion. Anyway, going this way, if the game lets me. And the answer was yes that time, thank you. Nice, and really, I'd even love how the enlarged enemies from before even let loose some smaller versions of themselves. Gotta love the additional details, ladies and gentlemen, if I do say to myself. But anyways, back to playing with the background we go, thank you. Going this way, fantastic. And so that 10 seconds later, we're back. What a voice track that was. Anyways, thank you. And immediately 10 seconds later, going back in the background we go. Thank you. Nice. And you see that's the end of the line, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. For a second, I thought there was something over here, but it turns out the game just baited me. Fantastic. Thank you. Level design is more than ever before appreciated. Why, thank you very much. But as always, the gameplay is just as smooth as ever, whichever way you go. Even with the downgraded sprites shown from further away, but just that, we made it to the zone boss, which is, in question, just the final boss in Sonic 1. Or the Egg Crusher, in other words. I'm pretty sure that I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. I could be wrong though, please forgive me. Anyway, same story as before, only this time is a lot easier. Just stay in the spot where, just always be on the lookout for the one spot where the electricity has the most distance away from the other one, and then Robotnik should show up in that moment. The pattern is pretty easy to notice. Anyways, phase 2. It's pretty simple. At first, it may seem a bit scary, but it's pretty simple. He's just gonna crush you you just have to wait for him to crush count of. He's just gonna send 4 pillars after you, and then the 4th one he's gonna show up, and that's when you wanna hit him. Just like that. What did I tell you? Timing is as always easy to learn. Thank you. And that is Act 1, ladies and gentlemen, and Metallic Madness, too. Thank you. The references are more than ever before appreciated. Why, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. Anyways, Act 2. And the background has once more made a comeback here. Thank you. We're supposedly meant to be in the present right now. This really does tie deeply with the lore, since supposedly, I guess, Robotnik went out of his way to put more generators, and then this became the new present. And then the past supposedly became the new present thanks to the robot generators, so... Whoops. Again, I would have loved to see if they would have implemented time fall. Again, it's understandable to see if the reason as to why they didn't for the sake of time, just because it just wasn't worth designing an entirely new level. But again, it just would have been cool to see that way. It would have stay true to the game it came from. But since yet again, Robotnik, since after the loss of Little Planet, Robotnik pretty much just then used the Phantom movie to then just recover Little Planet for himself, and then make a bad feature. At least in Metallic Madness. Though I will say, the music I do prefer the music in Act 2 over the one in Act 1. It's a lot more memorable. Right, speaking of returning aspects, there it is. Even the mini characters make a comeback here. You gotta love that. Although they're used a lot more often than ever before now, so you gotta love that too. Just everything making a comeback here. Fantastic. Anyway, going this way by the looks of things, and one guy next to the face later. And another monitor's hours. That was definitely worth the loss. Fantastic. Thank you. Not today, thank you. Just like that. Back to Tiny Spawn we go. Fantastic. I just wish I had 50 rings. That way we could even show up the super form while tiny. It's pretty funny to see. But convenience to the one. Wasn't about to let that happen, so I guess unfortunately never can be. Rest in peace. Guilty miss. Anyway, going down. Again, the music is just more than ever before memorable. I'll never get tired of pointing that out. Nice. Again, my precision has once again shown its face. Beautiful. Thank you. Back to platforming pros we go. Oh, goody. Fantastic. It looks like we have to go this way. Never mind. It's just a reuse asset from the one part of the Metallic Madness. Look at things. Tails is really just enjoying life while he's at it, but... Anyways, instead of going up, we have to go down, apparently. So, here we go. And look out, you didn't have to fight the boss while tiny. There it is. Also, another reference to another Sonic game. Although I forgot which game, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Everything needs returning, or even Amy yourself. A robot version of Amy, at least, or metallic Amy, to put it that way. For metal Amy, I meant to say. My apologies. Anyways, this boss is a joke if you have if you have Super Sonic unlocked, as always. He really only has 3 attacks, and that's it, and that being his capital, since, to be fair, this boss represents the Gashapons, I think that's what they're called. Please forgive me. I apologize for the pronunciation, I'm sorry. Pretty neat, if I do say so myself, since there are actually 3 of them you can actually get out of them, that can actually come out of the mission, whether it be the Yummy Bomb, the one boss from Emerald Hill, Robotnik fight from Emerald Hill, and then the one from Marble Zone too. But anyways, it's been revealed that Robotnik has been using the Phantom for yet again world domination once more, as he's yet again taking Little Planet over and used Metallic Madness as a factory to literally just build himself the Titanic Monarch, hence the name. But anyways, even the name of the zone, how convenient. It's pretty much just a super weapon, I guess. Anyways, any day now. These enemies work exactly like the propellers in Whale Ocean Zone. This is it? This is the final zone in the game, yes. Yes and no. We can pretty much reach the climax. We pretty much already reached the climax by now. Anyway, more references. Goody. So I guess you could say this one's compiled of Scrap Brain Zone for the most part, at least. So to be fair, it is just a better Scrap Brain Zone, since yet again because of the creativity, because of its longer length. It really goes to show the powers of the Phantom Ruby and how Robotnik's been abusing it, since he's pretty much just about to drain it completely. Or actually just use it just fuels his Batnik army and then just use it for world domination. Fantastic. Or not having none of that, so just like that, one car crash later, and just like that, onward to go. Don't try this at home. Anyways. Any day now. Thank you. Again, just so satisfying, just the way you can just last through levels. It's amazing. Anyways, back to platforming. Oh goody, my favorite. This is a platform after all, so there you have it. Going up. Follow the rings. How convenient. Just press the button, just press the jump button again right as you're about to peek into that quote unquote bubble, to put it that way. As you reach the peak of that bubble, of the bubble, to put it that way. The gravity bubble is what I'm gonna call it now. I'm not actually sure if that's what it's actually called, I'm sorry. And so that commentation has yet again caused my demise. Fantastic, thank you. Beautiful. So that convenience has once again stroked me. Thank you. Going back to playing the pacing game. Thank you. And up we go. Fantastic. Nice. Gonna take damage. You might as well do it in style. You know the good old saying. Fantastic. Batnik was really that dedicated to hit us, but in the end, that never happened. For the better. Just be sure not to get hit, or beware not to get hit by those Batniks that launch those status effects towards you, since those status effects work a bit identically to the ones from those one enemies in Lottery Zone, where you want to go as fast as possible to then avoid getting hit by them, or you could just kill the enemy and they'll leave you alone. I'm trying my best to explain logic here, please bear with me. Anyways, back to car crashing, since apparently it has been proven to us that the egg rules can be 100%, that they're 100% trustworthy of being a driver. So there you have it. Fantastic. Nice. That convenience has once again stroked back, thank you. Going down, beautiful. Rest in peace, though, so weakness, and just like that I got hit. Fantastic. Oh, goody. Anyways, going down. Just like I said, all perfectly going according to plan. I do say so myself. Thank you. We're almost at the end of the zone, trust me. Please bear with me. Any day now. Come on now. Nice. Ooh, double nice. Game was a lot slower there. Anyways, back to car crashing. Rest in peace, though. He really just got in the way. Poor guy. Anyways, we're almost there. Just yet again a matter of platform, and we should be there in no time. Any day now. Please bear with me. Thank you. Thank you. Any day now. Nice. Convenience yet again strikes back, ladies and gentlemen. Why, thank you very much. I mean, please, what did I tell you? All perfectly going according to plan. Nice. And unfortunately, we have to fight the boss as intended. For obvious reasons. Anyways. That one elevator from the Death Egg robot, from the Death Egg. which for the most part plays out exactly the same, since the first phase is just pretty much just a I completely lost my tongue there. I was about to say the first phase is pretty much an exact replica of his older counterpart. But anyways, the second is where he really starts to shine, where he pretty much out of suddenly just obtains the ability to just control gravity. Beautiful. But again, he goes on in less than 10 seconds, so you might as well just use the low gravity to your advantage and kill him, since you can either increase or decrease gravity, both of which will affect your jumping height, and just like that, even cover the monitor. Again, can this get any more convenient, ladies and gentlemen? Why, thank you very much. That is Act 1, and just like that, the elevator has been destroyed, and with that out of the way, finally good to go for Titanic Monarch, as we yet again enter. There you go. And just that we're in. They really didn't bother. They really didn't bother getting rid of the monitor. We just opened up the layer. Since again, that is pretty much how the transition works. The one area where you fought the mini boss. Since that one area where you always fought the mini boss always just stays loaded and never unloads for whatever reason. Since to be fair, it is for the most part just reused. Yes. Very funny indeed. I'm definitely with you on that one, Gottmix, thank you. Anyways, up we go. Fantastic. Oh, Julia, my good old friend Salvation has paid me another visit. Thank you. That is more than ever before appreciated. And again, this wouldn't be a video without it. So there you have it. Not only every aspect of Sonic, but every aspect of my license are even making a comeback here. Thank you. This truly is Mania at its finest here. Hence the name. Anyways, I'm grabbing the monitor for obvious reasons which I definitely won't regret later. Obviously. Anyways, rest in peace. So yet again, just returning Batnix from previous zones. Or levels, I should say. Anyway, one suffocation trip late, and we're there. Thank you. It's basically the way the second act of Titanic Monarch works is rather than just going in a straight line as we normally would in platformers, you actually have to clear 4 rooms. Which can be done by entering the 4 portals. Beautiful. Just like that. And I took damage. What did I tell you? You even gotta love the architecture in the background. Just all see it all together. Just the stained glass. Just displaying the fancy ruby at its finest. Surely every aspect just coming here all together. How remarkable. Anyways. Up we go. In my opinion, one of the most memorable final zones. Or actually, no, that's a lie. I'd say nearly every zone in Sonic is equally as memorable. Since they all offer their own unique designs and originality, and for that matter, their own design too. That is more than appreciated. But anyway, just like that is the first room clear, ladies and gentlemen. As yet again one of the 4 doors have all officially closed. That way it makes it a lot easier to tell which rooms you cleared and which ones you haven't. Anyways, on to the next room, which is yet again a matter of waiting. It was really unnecessary to say yet again twice, but oh well. Comedy. Instead we have to reset. Beautiful. Definitely want to be aware not to touch the portals, or else you'll have to restart the level, and you definitely want to know how that feels. Anyway, apparently it looks like you have to go load the other spring, apparently, so there you have it. For whatever reason it didn't load before, but anyways, or it may have, but I probably just didn't see it. But with that out of the way, back to platforming. Oh goody. Thank you. We'll take the convoy. Thank you very much. Nice. Gotta love it yet again. This thing guys just displaying the Chaos Emeralds, even the Control Emerald altogether. pretty cool if I do say so myself. Truly went all out on this final zone. This yet again is a climax, so there you have it. And that is yet again another room. With 2 out of the question, only 2 more remain, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And now I'm making it seem like I'm collecting the Chaos Emeralds again. Fantastic. Convenience, am I right? Anyways. Back to playing our good old game, the patient game. I'll never get tired of playing this game. Thank you. And just like that, another car crash later, and we're good to go. Why, thank you very much. Tails nearly saved his life right there. And just like that, convenience has spoken back once more, as I pretty much won't nearly start from square one. Beautiful. Fantastic. Everything's making a comeback here. Just convenience yet again at its finest, and the game refuses to read my inputs correctly, and just so that I'm about to die. Thank you. Anyways, I'm definitely gonna go out of my way to grab the rings, and just like that nearly plus reset. Fantastic. Again, convenience, am I right? But oh well, it's fine. Going down. Oh goody. Thank you. Nice. We're almost there. Hopefully. Music's yet again just as memorable, and yet again just perfectly suited for the atmosphere and for the setting itself too. Since we're technically blasting our way through the inner portions of the mech itself, of the monarch, or of the Titanic monarch himself, I should say. Itself, in other words. Or itself, I meant to say. Please forgive me, I have no idea what happened to my commentary right there, but it's fine. Anyway, by the looks of things, it looks like we have to go this way. I could be wrong though, and I was. Again, follow the rings, ladies and gentlemen. Note to self. Thank you. Nice. And that is another room here. Only one more remains with 3 out of the question. Thank you. Going this way. Oh goody. Nice. We're almost done, don't worry. Yeah, nearly assets from just about every final zone just making their own appearance here. You gotta love that. You went the wrong way. Beautiful. And thanks for one, and then just like that, thanks to one miss later, and that is nearly cost another reset. Fantastic. Thank you. Again, just convenience at its finest here. Don't mind that. Nice. Thank you. And going back up, yet again, left, right, beautiful. Anyway, we're going up, if the game lets me, thank you. Ooh, thank you. Double nice. Really took the combo right there. Nice. And looks like the mode to take down again, never mind, thank you. And onwards we go, and I believe that just about makes another room clear. Thank you. The final one for that matter too. Going this way, oh boy. Nice. It's always satisfying to pull that off. Just like that. What did I tell you? Nice. Looks like that, we're going down. And with that out of the way, the final boss door is opening up, and just like that, there it is. Portal or vortex, however you want to call it, and just like that, it's time to face off against the final boss. There it is. Indeed. And hello to you too, Super Sonic Daniel. Thanks for joining, man. Have to have as many people as possible. But anyways, here it is. Here's the Phantom Egg. Yes, hello to you too. Thanks for joining. We're gonna cheese this. We're gonna cheese this for obvious reasons. Since we might as well, since we're using Super Sonic for a reason, not for 2 after all. So here we go. Let's teach the Phantom Egg a good old lesson or two, as this boss probably puts to a fight for Super Sonic. Certainly, you're supposed to play the patient game for a while and wait for him to pretty much use one of his side effects, or to pretty much try to shock you, and then that's when you want to hit him. And even if this boss goes for long enough, you even get to fighting most of the hard-boiled heavies. You even get to find all the hard-boiled heavies again. It's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. But anyway, just crystal repeat for the most part, and you should kill him relatively quickly. But 20 more waves remaining, oh boy. Delvian coming close after all, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen. But, with out of the way, didn't even get to show off the entire face of this fight, and just like that, there it is. We're getting, and since we go to all the Chaos Emeralds, we're getting the different ending, and we're gaining access to the true final boss, since this wasn't a true final boss. Here we are. Welcome to the Egg Reverie, since apparently after the destruction of the Phantom Egg, the Chaos Emeralds had a weird reaction with the Phantom Ruby, and apparently just transported us to this dimension, alongside the Heavy King and Robotnik himself. And given by this cutscene alone, the Heavy King has betrayed Robotnik himself and completely stolen the emerald for himself, so I guess he really just wanted to use the power for himself, so there you have it. Rest in peace, Robotnik. There goes the remains of Big Arm, but just like that, here it is. Here's the true final boss. You gotta love the music. Where you basically just control Supersonic for once, too. Or at least his flying Supersonic, at least. Anyways, if I can actually hit this guy, thank you. 20 years later. Indeed. In my opinion, my favorite final boss in the entire Sonic, my favorite. Actually, yeah, I could say without hesitation that this is perhaps my favorite boss in the entire Sonic in the history of classic Sonic. Just because of how intense the fight is. It's what you want to do is you constantly want to be hitting the Heavy King and Robotnik. Well, not taking too long, or else they will attack you, and you don't want to lose too many rings, or else you have to reset, and you definitely don't want that to happen. Personally, if you're gonna hit Robotnik, I always recommend going mid-air, but if you're gonna hit the Heavy King, I always recommend you go down. That way it's a lot easier to get rid of his shield, to put it that way. And it's a lot easier to avoid his attacks. Just like that, what did I tell you? And boy, some music more than ever before appreciated. Just perfectly fitting for this. Fun fact, the Reverie was also supposedly meant to be a zone of its own, for those of you who don't know. Would have been pretty curious to see how that would have played out. Anyways, there it is. Good old Big Arm making a comeback again. It's hard to say. I like a lot of Sonic games. When it comes to that, when I always face that question alone, it's always between Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, and Sonic Mania. One of those games. Just because of how memorable they are. They're pretty sweet. Because they are truly a masterpiece, if I do say so myself. Oh, you know what? Actually, never mind. I'd say in my personal opinion, it's actually Sonic CD. It's either CD 3, Knuckles, and or Mania. One of those three, actually. Just for the creative level design, just because again they have a good balance between speed and platforming as always. But just like that, the Heavy King has gone down. In my opinion, put up a better fight over Robotnik himself, and I accidentally pressed the T-button with button since for whatever reason I thought that was the animation to jump. So there you have it. I broke the game. And just like that, there it is. One final hit later, and yet again the Chaos Emeralds have another weird reaction with the Phantom Ruby, and just like that, we're sucked into that vortex and we're transported elsewhere. Fantastic. There it is. One final cutscene as the Titanic monarch falls. Beautiful. There it goes. And even with little time in the background, since, in a way, the final cutscene for Sonic Mania resembles the one from Sonic CD in a way. So yet again, Little Planet has been freed from captivity, and just like that, it's off. Let's just hope it maintains its good future, even if Robotnik temporarily took it over. And there it is. He gets Sonic giving us a good old wing as Little Planet vanishes, and just like that, we're sucked into the vortex. There he goes. There it is. And just like that, staff rule, ladies and gentlemen. It only took us a debug press an unintentional debug press, but perfectly worth it in the end. And for those of you wondering about the ending for Sonic Mania, at least for the main story mode, basically after the destruction of the Phantom King, or after his defeat, Sonic pretty much just destroys Big Arm for good, supposedly, and after that, basically the Chaos Emeralds have another weird reaction with the Phantom Ruby itself, and just like that, a portal opens in Sonic End, which ends up sucking in. Yeah, which as a result ends up sucking Sonic, transporting the Phantom Ruby and Sonic all the way back to Angel Island Zone, or another dimension for that matter, since The zones aren't the exact same. Which then leads us into the ends of Encore mode, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, or Encore, whatever you want to call it. What a voice crack that was, but anyways, there it is. Stop roll, beautiful. It was Christian Whitehead and all the fans, beautiful. Nice. Yep. Might as well even skip through most of these, or in second thought, I might as well just give you guys a good minute or two just to enjoy these. There it is. The 3 original soundtracks. The 3 soundtracks that were at least not changed. That being with the one for Green Hill Act 1, the theme for Green Hill Act 1, then Chemical Planet Act 1, and then obviously Oil Ocean Act 1. Yep. Pretty much, yeah. That I guess. And to be fair, Encore mode is just a continuation of Sonic Mania. It takes place after the events of the main story mode. Or fun fact, Ray and Mighty make an appearance in that game. You can actually play as those two, if you purchase the DLC at least. Pretty glad they decided we got to see those characters make a comeback, since they were pretty obscure, given by the fact that I'm pretty sure Ray only made an appearance in the 1993 release of the Sega Sonic arcade game, while Mighty was just in that game and then in Chaotix. Beautiful. There it is. Guess we could say it's also the one time where not every song is just compiled to one. Guess the staff roll really is its own original theme. There you have it. Again, the animations are just always more than ever before satisfying to even watch still. Yep, that's just about it. Or at least that's what happens after you beat Encore mode. That's fun. Or at least assuming you didn't get all the emeralds. To be fair, I guess that's the bad ending, to put it that way, if you don't get the emeralds. Just like that. Fantastic. Nice. So honestly, it's also probably good to mention that I highly recommend you guys pick this game up whenever you can. If you haven't played this game, you're truly missing out on a masterpiece. Again, if you're an original Sonic game, then this is truly a love letter to you guys, since you definitely don't want to miss out on this game. It's truly a masterpiece of its own. Considering the fact that it was released in 2017 too, perfect timing too, for that matter. You gotta love it. And also recommend you even check out Encore mode if you really enjoy this game that much. Just if you really want to conclude the quote unquote original Sonic saga. Well, there you have it. That's the first part of Sonic Mania out of the way. Or at least in our case, that's pretty much that's Sonic Mania, since I did make a playthrough of Encore mode, but I decided to come back for Sonic Mania for the sake of yet again just staying through the timeline, because I didn't make a playthrough of this game. So I figured I might as well, and boy am I glad I did, since this game is truly a masterpiece. Definitely deserves the attention it gets. Could even say that this game has, in my opinion, by far the longest credits I've ever seen. Has the longest credit length, to put it staff roll length, to put it that way. Anyways, we might as well speed this up a bit more, just for the sake of yet again not making this video more than 20 years long. Feel free to pause if you really want to know the developers behind this game. Since fun fact, as previously mentioned, this game was developed by none other than the fans. Started the production of a lot of fan games, which eventually led to this. Pretty cool. I do say to myself, truly a masterpiece and a good decision for that matter. And that is it. That is the end. And just like that, there it is. That is the save slot 4, and just like that, not bad if I do say to myself. About an hour and 58 minutes of playtime if I do say to myself. And we even got all the emeralds. Beautiful. Will do, what, ladies and gentlemen. Why, thank you very much. And just like that, that is it. That is another save file added to the list, as we have yet again, as we now have ourselves a neat collection of 4 save files been presented. But do stay tuned for that. It's not the end. As mentioned previously, I am going to be playing this game again, but this time as a good old boy Knuckles the Echidna himself. Do stay tuned for this live is going to come out tomorrow. In other words, July 11th at 12 p.m. or noon MST time, as always, ladies and gentlemen. But with that out of the way, I do hope you enjoyed my playthrough, and I wish you all a fantastic day. Do take care, everyone, and until next time, goodbye.